Hello again, it's so nice to be back with you today, and I really hope you're doing great wherever you are. So today I have prepared a white canvas and I have covered the entire surface with a thin even coat of liquid white, and I thought we'll do just a simple mountain scene with some nice bushes and trees, some faraway foothills, and we're gonna use some happy colors. So please grab your brushes and join in, okay? And let's start today with a 2-inch brush and a little bit of cadmium yellow. Just tap a small amount in. And I'm gonna take just a little bit of bright red. I want to have a nice orange color here in the sky. Tap firmly. And let's come up here in the center and just make some crisscross strokes. Just our regular X's here. And as you can see, the color is blending with the liquid white and we have a very nice effect in here. But use very little color in the start if you want. You can always add more. And if you have a hair that is shedding from your brush, just take the corner of it and remove it. And I want to have some water in this painting, so just take a little bit more of this color. It's only cadmium yellow and bright red. And let's decide where we want our water to be. And we want the sky reflected in the water, so just use straight strokes here. And just put this in. Just so easily. Make some big strokes here. And as you can see, by the time we have brushed mix our colors, we have different variations all over the painting. It's so nice. Much better than blending it with a knife on your palette. And by the time we have the liquid white on, we have lots and lots of nice effects. And by the time we're painting still water, we want straight strokes. Use straight strokes here. And always start from the bottom and work upwards, because this is how we build depth. Okay, now let's remove some of this orange paint from the brush. And let's go straight into some phthalo blue. Just phthalo blue. And by the time the blue is much stronger than the orange, you don't have to thoroughly clean your brush. Just tap in some paint. And now let's start from up here, making crisscross strokes as always. Just blend your color on the canvas. Something like so. And we're gonna do the same in the water. Carry on with your phthalo blue. Just phthalo blue for me today. If you want, you can use different colors. And let's go up here and just rub this in. And you can always go the traditional way we've always been doing. Just feel free here to do whatever you like. You don't have to feel committed when painting this way. We just want things to be enjoyable for us, and we do things the easy way. And it doesn't matter if some of your blue touches your orange, because this is just a natural way of the light to change in the water. We will come back and blend all this in a moment anyway, so nothing to worry here. And now we're going to take a clean 2-inch brush. Let's make sure it's clean and dry, and soften everything a little bit here. Soften the orange too. And the more you blend it, the softer it gets here. And now we're blending right in between these two colors, so we don't know when the one starts and the other stops. But make sure you have a clean and dry brush, it's very important. Remove some of this color, and I'm gonna return down here to soften this. Because if I take a lot of this blue that is up here and go into the orange, I'm gonna destroy this nice color I'm having. Well, right now I don't have much. And now I can return back to the sky and soften it a little bit. Remove any excess paint and just very gently go about the entire sky, only to remove any brush strokes. And when this dries, you will actually feel that there is natural light in here. A very nice feeling. And it doesn't matter if you have some blue left in some areas on your canvas, because we're gonna put other aspects on. And here goes the water. And now that everything is fine, we have a nice background to play with. Now let's build the mountain. Let's take a number 10 knife and we're gonna go into some white. I'm gonna take some Prussian blue, some ivory black, a little bit of brown and some crimson. Decide the value of your color, just some more brown for me. And the whites, they're only to make the paint a little bit lighter, as I want my mountain to be relatively far away from us. Some more black here, some more blue maybe. Just a nice pale grey color. Maybe some more blue. Pull out the paint very flat and cut off a small roll of paint on the edge of the knife, okay? Now let's decide where we want our mountain to be. I want this day to be in the right hand of us, so let's start up here. Let's have a big mountain. A big strong mountain here. Remove any of your excess paint. And just that easily we can have a very nice outline of the mountain. Not much to worry about. And what we do is applying a lot of pressure here. We really don't have to worry about anything going on the inside of our mountain. We just want a nice outside edge here. Remove any excess paint. And by removing the excess paint here, we can apply the highlights and the shadows much easier. So remove as much paint as you can. And now we're gonna take the twins brush and just blend all this. This removes much more paint and allows us to decide where we want our highlights and shadows to be. And it doesn't matter now if our brush is a little bit dirty. And always remember that mountains are more distinct on top rather on the bottom, because in the bottom we have a lot of mist. Just put some paint down here, and by the time we have the liquid white on, it's very easy for the paint to slide, so just pull it through with your brush. Just do the same here. As you can see, we have a very nice basic shape of a mountain. Just something like that, very easily done. Okay, and now the fun part begins. Let's add some highlights here. I'm gonna take some titanium white, maybe add a little bit of Indian yellow to that, don't know. Maybe some sunshine is coming through here. And I'm gonna pull very flat. Do not overmix your colors and grab just a small roll of paint here, okay? Now the key here is to apply no pressure at all, so hold your knife relatively upwards and just touch and let it flow over here. Then let the paint break, just like that. No pressure at all. It's very important here not to add any pressure, because we want the paint to break. We need a very firm paint to do that. Let's come up here in the big peak. Just let it flow. And it certainly takes a huge amount of time to master these mountains. So just practice a lot. You really don't have to feel sad or anything if you do not succeed right away. Just let things happen. And even if I'm painting for 2.5 years now, I can still make great mountains, but I'm trying, and I really hope I can teach you how to do nice mountains, you know. Just follow the angles. It's very, very important to follow the angles when painting mountains. And let's come in this peak and let the paint dance around in here. Just follow the angles here, as you can see. Let's go to this peak that's on the back. Just bring it in front. Just like that. Let the knife dance a little bit. And now let's come and put in some shadows. Gonna take some white. This is titanium white we're using. And I'm gonna take some of this mountain color. That's what we have in here. I'm gonna add a little bit of phthalo blue to it. I want a dark grayish blue color, a little bit more blue. And do the same thing here by cutting the roll of paint. This is always how we work with a knife. And let's come back here and do the same thing, no pressure at all. And just follow the angles of the mountain. And it's also nice sometimes to grab some of this white paint here. It gives a very nice natural feeling in your mountain. As you can see, we're having lots of nice shadows here. Let's come in this one now. No pressure, it's very, very important not to add any pressure at all. And if you think you have some small spots here, just use the little edge of the knife and sneak in here. Just like that. It's very, very easy to do. And you can always come back with your white. I only have added a little bit of Indian yellow. And just add some more highlights if you want. If there is any peaks in there that are not highlighted, you can either leave them in the shadows or add their private highlights and shadows afterwards. Like that. You can see they come to life very, very quickly. Okay, let's roughen up this mountain a little bit. Gonna return to my white. And let's come in here. Just add another peak. And do the same to this one too. Maybe there is another peak in here. Like that. And return to my shadow color. There we are. And add some of the shadows wherever you want. And now let's take a clean and dry 2-inch brush and just add some mist on this mountain. Just tap, following the angles here. And if you're picking some paint, you can just rub off your brush on a paper towel. And make soft tapping here. We don't want a lot of pressure. And we're following the angles of the mountain as always. It's very, very important. And lift upwards. This removes the top marks. And we have a very, very nice mist effect here. Let's do the same to this side too. Always following the angles of the mountain. Bring some of this color just in front if you want. very lightly just go about the misty area. And that easily and that quickly we have a nice mountain in the background. Let's add some foothills. And for that let's use the same color here. This is a 1-inch brush. I'm gonna take some white and let's add some sub-green to that. This is the color, the shadow color of the mountain, and I'm just adding some sub-green, maybe some phthalo blue here, some more of the mountain color, some more blue. Just add some paints, tap a little bit. Some more blue, just go back and forth these colors. Some more white. And by the time we're brush mixing these, it's so nice to get these variations of colors on the brush. As you can see, the palette's full of different colors, and the same happens with the brush, so just let this happen. Okay, tap it a little bit. And let's decide where we want our foothills to be. Let's start, always save the misty area of the mountain, so let's come in here and just add a nice foothill in the background. Just tap lightly, the same way we are painting grass with these brushes. And let's take a clean 1-inch brush, and I'm gonna lift this upwards. By lifting that, we're having the indications of far away trees back in the distance here, and this adds a lot of interest to your painting. But make short, straight strokes. It's very important for the strokes to be straight. And now I'm gonna take a clean 2-inch brush and just tap here, make some mist. And this is different from before with the mountain, because right now we want mist in the base of the foothill, and we follow no angles and a lot of pressure. In here we're having a lot of pressure, and the more you blend, the softer it becomes. So just tap firmly, don't be afraid. Lift this upwards, and this is removing top marks. And so easily and so effectively we have a nice foothill. Let's build some more. I just like painting foothills like that. Return to my 1-inch brush and just darken the color a little bit, but only a little bit, because we're coming closer and things get darker. Okay, tap in some color. Let's come from here. Let's have another foothill. Always save the misty area, because this is our separator. And give your foothill some character. Let's make them a bit higher here. You can have as many layers as you want here, and the more you have, the more depth you're building. Add some color. And just fill the scene. And now we're going to do the same thing. And you can also use whatever brush you like for that. You can use the 2-inch brush, the fan brush, whatever brush you like. I just love painting hills with the 1-inch brush. But in this series we're gonna build numerous kinds of foothills and stuff, so I really hope you get a chance to use all the equipment to do the same aspects. Just mix the base here, lift it outwards, and just go across. Also use the 1-inch brush to build these faraway trees. Okay. Alright, let's build another layer. Now tell you what, I have left this area here and this doesn't look right, so let's cover it with a bigger foothill. It doesn't matter, or you can always use the same color in here to bring this one higher. So let's do that instead. So by the time we are oil painting here, we can fix everything. So let's come up here and build a big foothill. Extend this a little bit. Just like that, and let it come in front, and then fill the scene. As you can see, there's nothing you can't fix here. There's a big foothill back here. And I'm gonna lift this up. And that's easily where you have fixed something that could bring you stress or anything. And sometimes I get so overwhelmed by what I'm doing, I'm really not doing the right thing as I did right here, but it doesn't matter. So let's have another layer. I'm gonna use no white here. Just the mountain color, some blue, some sub green. And let's come here. Make it a little bit darker, maybe add a little amount of ivory black to that. And add character to your foothills. Not that easily. Tap in some paint. And by the time we're coming closer, we're seeing more details, so just add in some paint, make it look like grassy areas. Maybe this is a nice foothill in the background, like the Highlands in Scotland or something. And in here I want to have a reflection, so let's just add some paint. And you know, I'm gonna cover this area anyway, so just drop this in, doesn't matter for now. Now let's have some paint here. I'm gonna make a nice reflection. But don't worry for now, we're gonna come back and soften this a little bit. And in here we're just filling this in. Okay. Now we're gonna come with the 2-inch brush and let's pull now. Let's blend the colors. And we want a nice water effect here. And you have to make sure you're pulling straight down and then very, very lightly go across. And this is what gives us the water effect. And in here I'm gonna lift outwards again. And as you can see, we have so many different layers and so much depth already. And it really feels that the mountain is far, far away right now. And you know, it's very, very important to step back and see what you have. So let's step back a little bit and see how things are going for us now. And as you can see, the mountain is just hidden behind the foothills. And even if we made a happy accident here, we just covered it with this big foothill and everything is fine. We have saved a little bit of this misty area. And in here I'm just lifting upward and giving the far away tree effect. So just blend things here. Okay, now let's add a water line. We need something to hold on this. I'm gonna take the least little amount of titanium white back here, and we're spreading clean a lot in the palette, and then just cut across like that. And let's have our water lines here. Just use a lot of pressure for them. A lot of pressure. And make them as straight as possible. It's very important to make them look straight. Some more liquid white. Alright, now let's come forward a little bit. Let's have some big trees in here. So let's take our palette knife, and I'm gonna clean this spot here. I want a dark color. So let's take some ivory black, some Prussian blue, a little bit of Van Dyke brown, some crimson, and some sap green. And as you have guessed, I want to build some evergreens and bush and stuff. Okay. And let's use a one's brush for now. I'm gonna use the same brush here. Just pull it through the paint. Make the bristles bend. And let's come in here and just build some basic bush shapes. Just a small peninsula in here. And we're gonna reverse the brush. And this is gonna be ending up being the reflections. Just a small area in here. And you can always extend it if you want. And I'm gonna take the twins brush and decide where we want our reflection to be. Alright, that easily. And then go across. And you must be very, very gentle here. Now let's paint some evergreens. I'm gonna use the fan brush, but you can use whatever brush you want. I just love painting evergreens with a fan brush, so just load both sides full of paint. And I'm gonna come up here. We're gonna make a center line. Just use the corner of the brush. And the more you go downwards, the more pressure you're gonna use and more of the brush. And that easily a nice evergreen appears. Let's have another one. Let's have a smaller one. And do the same thing. Just like so. And you can have as many or as few as you want. I just want to have another one here. Let's make it a little bit taller, and I'm gonna make it smaller. As I've told you before, I just love painting this kind of trees. And every time I paint them, it feels like it's the first time. So much excitement. So let's have a bigger one now in here. Lot of paint on your brush. And what we're doing is just using the corner of the brush and going back and forth, back and forth. Okay, now let's build the tree trunks. I'm gonna take some of my white, a little bit of dark sienna, but not much paint, and let's use this for tree trunks. Just put in some trunks. Just touch and pull towards your direction. Okay. And now I'm gonna take a clean fan brush. I'm gonna go into some of my cadmium yellow, but I need to thin it down a little bit. I'm gonna go into some paint thinner. And I'm gonna just come here and take some of my sub-green, maybe some of our dark color here. Let's make a nice dirty green color. Some more sub-green, maybe add a little bit of ivory black here. Make it even darker. And if you think your paint won't stick, just add a small amount of paint thinner. But we need a very small amount. So let's come here and remember your light source coming from the right, and this is what the mountain says. So let's start highlighting. And remember to leave dark areas in between. It's very important, so you're not ending up with a flat painting. Your trees will look flat. And a little bit of highlight in this one. And anyway, these trees are very dark in reality, so you can always keep them dark. But if you want them to look lighter, just go on ahead. And I'm gonna take the ones brush and go into some paint thinner. And go into my cadmium yellow here. And this time we're gonna need a lot of paint. And add some of my other yellows too, maybe some more paint thinner. Paint is very firm, but this is how it has to be. We really want a firm paint for this technique. It's very important. Pull the brush to the paint, make the bristles to bend, and we end up with a rounded corner here. So this is what we're using to paint. Let's come in here and just touch very lightly here. And a nice bush appears. And by the time we have water here, we need that reflected, so just play through your colors now. A lot of paint. Let's come up here and just build a bigger one. And remember not to be greedy and always paint one bush at a time. Use the rounded corner up and just caress the canvas. This is how it works. A little bit of paint thinner, some more colors, and the reflections here. Lots of nice bushes, some more sub-green, and let's come here and build a big one. Big strong bush here. A little bit of yellow ochre, and just add another one. Now we need something to hold all this, so let's go and take a little bit of my Van Dyke brown here, and a small roll of paint, and come in here and build a piece of land. But before that I need to paint the reflection. Just caress the canvas here. Add no pressure at all. Be very gentle. And now very lightly. As you can see, the paint slightly moves and gives us an amazing water effect. So easily done. And now I'm gonna return to my knife with my brown. Just put some land in here. And I'm gonna go into my white and sienna. Some more titanium white. Just add this nice rocky effect here. Same way we put the snow on the mountain. Return to my liquid white and add a water line. Just make them as straight as possible. Okay, I'm gonna scratch in some sticks and twigs. And we need to return back to our one-inch brush that we built the bushes with, and let's bring this together. Let's just go slightly above our brown, and as you can see, everything comes together. Now let's go to the other side too. Let's have something similar. So let's go into my one-inch brush, take some more paint. Let's have a bit of higher here, bushes and stuff, so just add some paint. You know, I think I want them to be on something, so let's take the knife and return to my Van Dyke brown here. I want to have something to hold all this, maybe a baked stone or something. Add some more paint. Just like so. And let's do this in layers. Let's do one at a time. So in here, let's build some more evergreens, and I'm gonna come up here. Doesn't matter if you go in front of the mountain because this pushes back everything. So let's come in here. Let's be brave. A lot of paint for that. And we can just come in here and build some evergreens. And if you think your paint won't stick above this mountain, you can always scrape off the huge amount of paint that is underneath, but it doesn't matter now. Just build a huge evergreen here. And I'm gonna paint the cobble here too. Let's have a smaller one. Use the corner of the brush and go back and forth, back and forth. Let's have another one. Bit of a bigger here. Just like that. Okay. And it's always the same process with the tree trunk and the highlight, so just do that. Touch and pull, touch and pull. Okay, go into my fan brush with the dark color. I'm gonna thin it down just a little bit and take some ivory black with that. Make a dark green, some sub green maybe. And just add some highlights. Just go here and I really hope you enjoy this third season already. And I'm looking forward to seeing your work too. You can always join me on Facebook where I'm uploading a lot of things. And you can just join in and drop your own paintings. So let's build a little bit of highlight here in the stones. It's gonna be interesting here. It's gonna separate all these. Some more paint. And this just comes together here. And I'm gonna go into my other one-inch brush, pull some paint here, and just touch as we did before. Some more paint here maybe. Play through the yellows and the greens. And remember to leave dark areas in between. It's very, very important. And in here I want a big bush. Just like so. Scratch in some sticks and twigs. just like so. And you can always come here and just add some leaves, just with the corner of the brush, some leaves that are falling in here. So by the time I wanted this higher, I want something to have down here, so I'm gonna go into my dark color again and just add some more bushes here that are protecting this stone. And I want to build some reflections too, just like that. You can only reverse your brush and just decide where you want your reflection to be. And now very, very gently go across. And I'm gonna return to my other white brush and put the highlights on. Go slightly above the dark. And I'm gonna add some Indian yellow, some bright red here. And remember to reflect your bushes in the water, it's very, very important. I'm gonna add another small bush here. And add some yellow ochre. And this is one of the most effective ways to build foliage. As you can see, it's very, very effective. You have lots of details here going on. And I'm gonna caress the reflections here. Be very, very gentle with that, because if you add a lot of pressure, you're gonna end up with mud, and we don't want that. We just want a nice reflection. Just touch and pull very gently and caress it. Okay, I'm gonna take my knife with some Van Dyke brown on and build a little bit of soil here. Something like so, highlighted with white and sienna. And come back with your wands brush. Bring all this together. Just be very, very gentle with that. And now I'm gonna go into my liquid white. Let me clean my knife and just build the water lines here. Use a lot of pressure when painting the water lines. And also paint a couple of ripples here and there if you want. Okay. Now let's build something in here to bring all this together. Let's have a leafy tree. Let me collect my paint from here. And it's always very, very important to collect the paint that you have pulled throughout your palette and bring this into a nice bunch of paint here. So let's use the brush we already have dirty. This is a 1-inch brush. Pull it through the paint. And let's come up here and build a big leafy tree. Let's just do that. Just build a basic shape of a tree. Add a lot of pressure when doing that. And you can always use a 2-inch brush for that, but we had that dirty, so... And now I'm gonna bring some of the dark color here. And this pushes everything back, so let's come in here. Just build some basic shapes. Some more paint. And a lot of pressure. Use a lot of pressure. And this is where you need a very, very sturdy easel for that. Because when I had one of these classical wooden easels, everything was falling off and I couldn't use the pressure I'm using now. And I was always stressed and unhappy with that. So I built this easel based on Bill Alexander's one. And this actually is a step ladder that has a mechanism here to hold the canvas together. Okay, we have something nice to play with. I'm gonna go into my liner brush and some paint thinner, and I'm gonna go in here to this white and sienna color. I'm gonna use a lot of paint thinner here and just twist the brush and bring it to a nice sharp edge. So let's come up here and build the tree trunk. Start from the top and use more and more of the paint and twist it. Just twist it. This gives us a very nice detailed bush here. Detailed trunk, I'm sorry. Let's have another limb. Just like that. Add some leaves here to this one. And it doesn't matter if you can't see anything because there is a lot of dark going on, a lot of leaves on this tree. Okay. Just add some more details. And I'm gonna return to my wands brush. And I'm gonna go into some paint thinner and just some yellows and greens and all this regular stuff. But lots of paint. So let's add the highlights now to our tree here. So let's just go up here and just touch. Go slightly above the dark. And remember to leave dark areas in between so it doesn't look flat. Add some limbs here. And we want this side of the tree to be more highlighted because this is where most of our light is coming from. Okay. Some more paint here. And in the base of the tree we want more and more dark because we have all these shadows from the leaves. So let's just go in here and paint the bushes. Play through your colors and I just want some nice bushes here. If your paint won't stick, just add a small amount of paint thinner. Always remember that the thin paint sticks to the thick one, so always check on those things. And by the time we're building these in layers, always start with the ones that are in the back and always move forward. In here I'm just putting on some leaf indications. Just like so. Let's build a red one. Add some color to this. And as you can see, this just came to life very quickly. Let's have an orange one. Come in here. This is a nice bush. Return to my green. And just fill this scene with some nice bushes. And I really hope you got to enjoy today's episode, and I'm looking forward to seeing your own version of that. And as we're coming to the end of this episode, I'd like to thank you very much for watching. Let me know how you're doing, and if you have any questions, I would be more than happy to reply to them, give you answers, and I'm really eager to help you with this technique because it brings so much joy to my life, and this is a joy I want to share with everyone. Some sticks and twigs I'm just scratching here. And we have come to a finished painting. I really hope you got to enjoy today's episode, and for the next one I'm gonna use a white canvas too. I just want to spend time building foliage with a round brush. We're gonna do one of my favorite paintings, so if you want to join in, I will be more than happy to welcome you once again in my studio. So until next week, happy painting, and I'll see you soon. Take care.